Hi, welcome to episode 1 of Ocean Dive Buddy with your host, me, Thao. Let's get it out the way now. That's how you say my name. Born and raised in New Orleans, daughter of immigrant parents, both from Vietnam. I am a Vietnamese American, first generation, all those pretty minority labels that the institutionalized systems of oppression would love to label me. But I realize too, those are my flags that I have to raise so I can find my people and my people can find me. So let's start with the name and why I chose it. Ocean Dive Buddy Thao. I went through various iterations of this. I wanted something catchy and relevant to scuba diving. The first rule of diving, you never dive alone. You're always with a buddy. So it's funny, like the podcast started as like oceans with your dive buddy Thao. First of all, that's too many letters and too many words. Second of all, just I am tickled with the fact that like I came up with a podcast name paying homage to ODB. Back to my roots. Like I love hip hop, I love rap. I grew up in the ghetto, and when I say ghetto, I mean Ninth Ward, New Orleans East, 70129. It just feels right. So I tried on that, your dive buddy Thao. And I'm like, nah, that's that's not me. It didn't feel right. I was like, oh, maybe because I want to create community. And I'm like, no, I want to find my community. I want to attract the people who understand, who also can laugh at the ODB reference, who can I don't need a code switch to talk to you. I don't need a code switch to talk about marine conservation. I don't need a code switch to tell you why I like scuba diving or where I'm from. And there's no need to simplify or educate you on my cultural background or references. I don't have time for all that. I don't. Nah. So let's break down why I chose Ocean Dive Buddy. I read this book recently called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, and gave me permission, like nothing's new under the sun. So I started following this girl not too long ago. Her name is Vivian. Her Instagram handle is called Your Rich BFF, and she does financial literacy. Shout out to her. Asian American, teaching financial literacy on TikTok. Great. And then I was like, oh, that's smart. Like Your Rich BFF. Maybe I should do that. Like Your Dive Buddy Thao. And I thought about it. I was like, no, I'm not for everyone. And everyone's not for me. I know I have a certain sass, attitude, humor that's not for everyone. I know my message, my values, my beliefs. Not necessarily controversial, however, they're not for everyone. And I'm okay with that. I tried it on the Your Dive Buddy Thao, and I was like, oh, this don't feel right. And so, born ODB, Ocean Dive Buddy, with your host, Thao. I can connect the dots on how I got to the name I got to, because I started rewatching Fresh Off the Boat by Eddie Wong. It's a TV show. I think it lasts about 6 seasons, and it was what a relief. I think that was the first time I've ever seen like an Asian American centered TV show. And Eddie Wong, his life, his memoir, also read his memoir, Fresh Off the Boat. I think that was the first memoir I've ever read, and it made me like laugh out loud as I was reading the book, the paper copy book. It was great. I bring that up because it ties into this name. I rewatched like a couple of episodes, and he was listening to hip hop rap. If you look at the initials of Ocean Dive Buddy, ODB is also the same initial of Old Dirty Bastard. Hip hop legend, really big in the 90s. And Fresh Off the Boat, Eddie Wong would listen to that song on the show because he's like, If you were a misfit, if you were a black sheep in your family, hip hop and rap was your anthem. My intention with this podcast is to be real and have good conversations and open-minded conversations through the lens of obviously my life, my eyes, about marine conservation. Why I love scuba diving. I want to talk about topics that I don't think gets enough attention, and mainly questions that I still have, as I'm no longer an academic. However, the researcher is still inside me, and there are stories out there that need to be in the limelight. I just want this podcast to feel like an open conversation that we're having. It's a little bit of stream of consciousness, but with a lot of experience and expertise and research behind what I'm saying. I am, as Brene Brown created, I am a research storyteller. I'm both. I'm both an academic and I am a practical researcher. I come at you on this podcast with a lot of anecdotal stories. They are not meant to, this is the end all be all of the research. I'm here to give you the story and the people and the lives behind all the data points in research that I don't think gets enough mainstream media attention. Numbers are great for metrics and tracking and KPIs, and great for, assessing and measuring. However, when I travel, and when I do research, I'm more interested in the person. I want to understand why the behaviors are the way they are. I'm interested in just the complexities of being a human and how it ties with our marine environments. Now, I think I have all of this because I truly believe my ancestors were nomadic seafarers. Because that feeling when I'm in the ocean, I'm below water, it just feels right. It feels like home. It feels like a big warm hug, and it simultaneously feels like freedom. When you're underwater, for anyone who hasn't been scuba diving, I'm going to describe to you what it feels like to me. Giant splash off the boat. I mean, honestly, it actually starts because usually when I travel, because I lived in Houston and I lived in Wyoming. I currently live in Houston, and I lived in Wyoming for the past 12 years. So if I wanted to go scuba diving, I had to get on a plane to go somewhere and plan some shit to do the damn thing. And so it starts, right, with the desire. Then I had to make money to plan it out and figure it out. Like, when I'm planning for scuba diving, there's not much anxiety into finding flights, getting hotels, booking a place, get a scuba center, renting gear. Like, I'm usually a type A personality, but when I'm planning for scuba travel, none of that comes with me. It's pretty amazing. My type A personality and all my Virgo-ness, it washes away, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But what it feels like to scuba dive, once you get all your gear on, you make your giant splash into the water, you make sure, safety-wise, everyone's okay, and then you descend. You release all the air that's in your buoyancy control device, which is, your BCD. It's your jacket that fills up with air in case you need it, and it controls the air. Anyways, semantics or logistics that we can talk about, dive equipment later, but let me get back to how it feels to dive. After all the logistics, all the safety protocols, once I'm in and I'm now ready to start just cruising around a reef, a seawall, a jetty, wherever it may be. Once you start cruising, it is pure bliss. It is pure joy. It is just when I feel at totally one with not just myself, but the world. And when I am diving, it's almost like not necessarily space, but there is zero gravity. Once you get your buoyancy figured out, I feel like I'm flying. When I'm scuba diving through kelp in San Diego, I felt like I was flying through a forest. Anytime I'm over a reef, I feel like I'm just gliding with the world, gliding and free flowing. It's a chilling feeling, a chilling oneness. Oh, it feels, y'all, this is exactly why I belong underwater. I can't even put it into real, coherent, beautiful, elegant words for you. But scuba diving feels like I'm flying. Zero gravity, oneness with the ocean, oneness with the world, and oneness with myself. Because sound travels different underwater. And the only thing I'm really hearing is my regulator and my breath as I'm breathing. In and out, in and out. And so there's a zen-like state when I'm diving. So not only am I listening to my breath, I'm gliding across weightless, arguably the most beautiful ecosystems that we have in the world. Coral reefs, sea kelp in San Diego, or even just the deep blue abyss. When I'm in Raja Ampat, Indonesia, and just hoping to see some big megafauna pop up. Like all of it. It feels good. Thanks for listening to Ocean Dive Buddy Podcast with your host, Thao. I really enjoyed doing this. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new about the underwater world. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on YouTube at Ocean Dive Buddy. Thanks. See you on the next one.